Be honest. When is the last time you showed up for yourself? That's the question. When is the last time you showed up for you? We all know we can be committed to other people. We know that. But we cannot be committed to other people and give and give and give and expect to be just vitally healthy and happy. And because what happens is over time, you start to give and you start to help and you expect something in return. You expect those other people or that outside event or situation to give you what you need. It's called, mental telepathy. You just expect that thing, person, event, or situation to know what you need. Well, guess what? You're setting yourself up for disappointment. You show up for yourself by doing these things. Self-care. And I'm not talking about just going to get a pedicure or a manicure. I am talking about deep self-care. The kind of self-care where you do things for you that you enjoy. It could be a simple walk or a hike, or it could be perusing through art galleries. It could be anything that when you are doing that thing, it brings you joy just for the sake of doing it. It's called taking yourself out on a date. And it doesn't matter. The sky's the limit as far as your creativity of what you can do for yourself for self-care. Now, when you are going to be doing self-care, what has to happen? You have to set boundaries because you've been giving and giving and giving, hoping to get something into return. And now you are going, okay, I'm going to do something for myself. But people still need you because there's an expectation that when you give and give and give, they just think it's always going to be there. And they don't, or the situation doesn't have to set boundaries because, well, you're just going to do it. So this is requiring a change in what you do as far as making yourself happy through that self-care. And setting the boundaries means saying that really tough word sometimes, no. And no does not have to be a bad thing. It can be, no, not at this time, or no, that doesn't feel right to me, or no, you know what? That absolutely is not what I want to do or to be. And when you set those boundaries, one way you can set those boundaries is to check in with how you feel. If you are giving and giving and giving, and the word no never comes up, how are you feeling as your energy goes out, as the action is always out and not towards yourself? It's kind of like driving a car. You can't just drive a car and not expect to stop, gas it up, and to also provide maintenance for that car to run as good as it can run. It's the same thing. So when you set those boundaries, you are getting in touch with your feelings. And that means really, really looking inward. You may have to get still, meditate, or just be quiet and check in with your body, because the body never lies. Your body will tell you when something isn't right or a situation is not for you. Your body won't lie. Now we can override it. We can say, oh yeah, I don't know what that is. I need to do this for that person, or I need to get that done for this situation. And we override those intuitive feelings inside that let us know we've hit the boundary. We've hit that end spot where now we need self-care. We need to give back to ourselves in creative ways that give us joy. We have to check in with ourselves. That's part of boundary setting. That's part of self-care, is you setting those boundaries and looking, I made a list, and looking at and feeling what is the truth that is going on in that present moment. Not what happened in the past, not what you hope for the future, just in that present moment you are in. Check in with yourself several times. You can do it several times a day. At least do it once, because we've all had those feelings. I know I've gone throughout my day and all of a sudden I'm feeling anxious. Something's wrong. My stomach's a little upset. And it's like, wow, well, what? And it's usually an anxious feeling because I'm hurrying through whatever that present moment is, doing whatever. And I just need to get to that next thing. Hurry up and get to that next thing. And it creates an anxious, edgy feeling in my body. And as soon as I check in, as soon as I get still and really feel where that's coming from, I can then let it go. I can then go, oh, right, hurrying, don't need to hurry. And then check in and get back into alignment of feeling the present moment. And when you do those things, self-care, setting boundaries, getting in touch with yourself and your feelings, you are able to then step out of your comfort zone and take a risk. And I'm not talking about life-threatening risks or risks that can cause you any harm in any way. Those aren't the risks that I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is taking a risk to do something you don't normally do, but you've thought about and you think, okay, I would really love to do that or experience that, and you don't do it because it's better to be in the known zone. Let's just be with what we know in that known zone. And we don't grow there. We don't become more of who we authentically can be when we are in that zone of the known. And so when you do those things, like I said, of self-care and setting boundaries and getting in touch with your feelings, you are able to take that risk. And of course, have the support of family, friends, whoever, your tribe that says, you know what, you can do this, go for it, whatever it is. And you have that support from them and that love and that even their faith in a way in you. And you're right on that as you step out of your comfort zone and out of your routine. I've said this before, a rut is nothing more than that long grave that just never, ever ends. So do those 3 things over the weekend for the rest of your life, really. Self-care, setting boundaries, getting in touch with your feelings, and step out of your comfort zone with the support of those who know who you really are. I'll see you next week.